Hi, welcome to 1500ESPN.com. Derek Wetmore and Andrew Kramer out at Winter Park, where the big news today is Jared Allen is still a member of the Vikings. The trade deadline came and went yesterday. Rumors swirled about Allen's possible departure, but he's still here. You talked with Allen along with the rest of the media members. What was his demeanor today?
Jared Allen pretty much said that he was watching Twitter and the TV like everybody else. He said that he got no call, though, from Rick Spielman or from Leslie Frazier or anybody in the organization to say it was even close that he's going to be traded. So really it wasn't even that close. Obviously with Twitter and the age of information, everything is coming out so fast that it gets overblown. And so really, apparently it wasn't even that close. With his contract too, with the last year of it, they would have had to have redone with whatever team he was trading to before the deadline. And all that was just way too much to get done. Way too much headache for what it would be worth for Seattle, San Francisco, Denver, all the other suitors that were the names that were just being thrown out. But basically he said that he's happy to be here. He said he talked with Rick Spielman though after the trade deadline passed. He said they're on the right page. They want to right the ship, all that stuff. So no worries there. He says he's happy. He's not deterred by the fact they tried to trade him like some players might be. He said he understands it's the business of it. So there's no worries on that end. But he didn't make on the stat sheet on Sunday night, and the defense got torched. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. The other news today was the quarterbacks, in which there is a non-news update. Leslie Frazier got to the podium today and said that he would prefer to wait to divulge his quarterback's plan to the media and to fans. He says he thinks there might be a little advantage in that, that the Cowboys don't know for whom to prepare. But I mean, they're preparing for Adrian Peterson is what they're doing, and then whoever's at quarterback, it doesn't change the game plan a whole lot. So he said he'd rather wait until Friday, but he thinks he has a plan of which way he's going to go. If you were asking me to speculate, I would say it's probably Josh Freeman, and then Freeman starts from here on out. Frazier did mention that Freeman has been medically cleared to play, so if they decide to go that direction, they're perfectly fine with league protocol and everything. On the other injury front, Rhett Ellison, Jamarcus Sanford, and Chris Cook will likely miss practice today with some injuries. Cook with that hip, and Sanford had the groin injury suffered in Sunday's game. Andrew, with an already thin secondary missing Harrison Smith, what do those injuries, if they miss Sunday's game, which is a real possibility, especially given Dallas's receiving threats down the field, what do those injuries mean for the Vikings defensive secondary?
Well, really, their secondary is already terrible. We got a glimpse of what the secondary is going to look like without Cook and without Jamarcus Sanford in it on Sunday, because Sanford left at the beginning of the second quarter. Cook left at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Now, by then, the offense was kind of wound down for Green Bay. They weren't really stretching the field too much. But what it looks like is Josh Robinson's your number one cornerback. Then on the other side, they had A.J. Jefferson as the other quarterback. I don't know what the deal was with Xavier Rhodes, but they didn't have him in there at the time, and they had A.J. taking some snaps for him. And then they had Marcus Sherrills in the middle. So normally they'd have Xavier Rhodes, Josh Robinson, and Marcus Sherrills in there on your nickel packages. That's what it looks like without Cook. And then without, obviously, Jamarcus Sanford and Harrison Smith in behind them, you have Mistral Raymond and Andrew Sendejo, who aren't that bad in coverage, really, but they whiff on tackles when it comes up to the run game. And we saw on Sunday night, Green Bay ran 42 times or so on this Vikings defense, and they held stout. But, if you keep converting on those 3rd and 3s that they keep allowing these teams to have, they have 50% completion now or conversion rate on third downs to opposing offenses on their defense. That's absolutely terrible. So with more injuries in their secondary, with Dallas coming down the chute, and then Washington coming with RG3 4 days later on Thursday Night Football, that's a bad stretch to be hurt, and it can only get worse from here, it seems like.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out the rest of the season, but for right now, the Vikings defense is a bunch of backups. For Andrew Kramer, I'm Derek Wetmore out at Winter Park. Keep coming back to 1500ESPN.com throughout the rest of the day. We'll have all your Vikings news updates.